Hi, hi guys, welcome back to our channel. This is actually our episode number 1, and as promised last time during the introduction to the system, myself and Teresa, the audio couple, I promised that we will look into the loudspeakers and do a bit of a deep dive into the loudspeakers. So yes guys, welcome back. Looking at loudspeakers, I think it's a very important component of your system. And as explained last time around, I've got quite a significant loudspeaker or a big floor standard. And of course, placement in the room is very critical. But luckily, due to the design of these loudspeakers, I'm actually quite flexible in placing these two loudspeakers in the room. Look, it's not always ideal where you can place your loudspeaker. You have to make some sacrifices, again, the aesthetics, and then of course the actual performance of the system. But let's continue. I'm just going to walk across to the right hand channel loudspeaker. If you stand over here, but from a listening perspective, it's actually the left hand channel. So okay, just a bit of background. This is of course the Dantec Sovereign loudspeaker, and according to Dantec's website, these are still available. But I know they have some issues with some of the OEM drivers, the availabilities of these drivers. So, what is maybe interesting is that they actually still show these loudspeakers on their website. So, just a quick rundown of the loudspeaker. It's a 7-driver, 4-way configuration, and as stated before, it's actually a closed box, or what they also call acoustic suspension design. What that basically means is there's no bass reflex ports at the back, bass reflex ports at the back or in the front. It's a closed system with these bass drivers actually playing into cavities that is sealed off. And of course, there's decent damping behind these loudspeakers. One of the first design criteria is the stepped approach on the front baffle. And this is basically to ensure that the loudspeaker is time aligned. All that basically means is that different frequencies will actually arrive at the listening position or at the listener's ear at the same time. So the loudspeaker is actually time aligned. This is one of the main features of the loudspeaker. The second feature is that it's actually the MTM configuration. What we mean by that is it's a mid-range tweeter, mid-range configuration. And this type of configuration allows the critical information part of the audio spectrum to be more clearly defined, if I can say that. Then another critical feature of this loudspeaker, is actually a vertical design. So what you'll notice is all of the drivers are in a vertical aligned manner placed into the cabinet, and that also helps with the, let's call it, the propagation of the audio frequencies, and it also helps to ensure that the stereo imaging is quite precise. If we start with the tweeter, it's actually a scan speak textile down tweeter, a 1/4 inch with a ferrofluid, of course, to cool the loudspeaker down during dynamic passages or when playing loud passages. The mid-range drivers are from Dyne Audio, and it's a doped material, a specialized doped material that they've used. On the mid-bass driver, or what Dantec also refers to the woofer, or the bass driver, they've actually used a proprietary material that Dyne Audio has developed, that is very neutral, let's say, and doesn't have a sound of its own. And that can be set of the mid-range driver, the tweeter, etc. So they are quite, let's call it, my heavily damped type of materials. So they actually don't produce a sound of their own. They only actually just produce the audio, or the audio electrical signal that is fed to them. The same can be said with the bass driver, or in Dantec's vocabulary, to use their vocabulary, they actually refer to this driver, the 12-inch driver, as the subwoofer. On my specific model, my Dantec's, I've custom made it. So I spoke to Audio Technology, a company from Denmark. The owner there is a guy by the name of Per Scanning. I've actually commissioned him to develop a 12-inch driver for these loudspeakers. And after many an email and over a period, I think, of around 3 to 4 months, we decided on this design that I'm using in my Dantex at the moment. So it's actually an audio technology driver with a sound. It's also a proprietary material that they used or use, and it's a sandwich type of design, a special sandwich design, and I must say it integrates very well into the Dantex Sovereign loudspeaker. I'm very pleased with the overall results that I've achieved. In a nutshell, maybe that is the Dantex Sovereign. Yes, quite a significant loudspeaker, 7 drivers, 4-way design, closed box design, acoustic suspension in other words, but all of these features and the vertical design actually contributes to a, I would say, very well rounded design. It's neutral, but not clinical sounding. So yeah, quite an excellent loudspeaker. And these loudspeakers are also actually used in mastering studios across the globe. So they are capable of being used for critical audio monitoring. So highly regarded in the recording industry for critical monitoring or playback of recorded music or content. Okay guys, so yes, thank you for joining us again. I just want to conclude our video for today. This was then episode 1. Previously we had an introduction to ourselves and the system and a little bit of basics. Today we spoke more about loudspeakers, or the actual loudspeakers in my system, and then also a little bit about the actual materials used in loudspeakers designs, the actual diagram, and how these diagrams and the material used can also influence the sound. Guys, just thank you for your support, and we had actually some requests from some of our subscribers to say they're not so interested in the technical aspects of the audio equipment. They actually are interested in the type of music that we listen to. So yes, guys, it's for you. We actually enjoy music from Sophie Zalmani, a female vocalist. We really enjoy her music. It's very relaxing type of music. And then the full experience, you know, the recording is actually well done, and it's just a pleasure to listen to this music. Of course, there's some other as well. For instance, Hannah Bull. We also listen to Jennifer Warnes. We enjoy Dire Straits, some of the classical hits like Six Blade Knife. We also like to listen to Yellow, you know, the guys from Switzerland. Very good recordings from Yellow, I must say. They've got an album called Toy, which is quite good. And then they do also a couple of songs with Heidi Happy, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, so quite an interesting name there, but Heidi Happy together with Yellow. It's I must say, the sonics is quite good, the recordings is good, but this can be said from all of these artists. So all of you guys know Dire Straits. I don't think it would be a surprise if that's one of our favorites. They do excellent recordings, and of course there's a lot of skill there in you know, mastering their instruments, and the same can be said about all of these artists. You know, the female vocalists, they are very good. This type of thing. Yeah, so what we'll try and do is to at some stage play some of this music if YouTube allow. So we hope that we can actually share some of their music or music clips within our videos, and then you guys can judge for yourself as to how the audio reproduction is in our home environment. Of course, we are limited by the audio, how can I say, quality of YouTube, but at least you'll have some idea of how these tracks sound in our listening area and reproduced through the system. But guys, yes, then thanks a lot, and thank you, Teresa, for the excellent camera duties. She did a good job again. And this is then us for our first episode. Of course, the previous one was the introduction, and then today the first episode. Maybe just a final note is that we'll go into the subject of room placement, loudspeaker placement within the room. We'll actually dedicate a full episode towards this because it's quite a technical matter, and there's lots of aspects to consider when placing your loudspeakers in the room. Guys, just quickly, I know last time around a couple of people asked us, but when we finished off with the video, we actually stood up and we laughed a bit between ourselves. This is basically because we are in a suburb, and of course there's all sorts of noises, especially dogs barking, at times when we really want to record some critical information for you guys. So last time around we battled quite a bit to actually say goodbye, because every time we will wish you guys farewell, the neighbor's dog will start barking for no reason. So so that's why we laughed last time, but we had quite a bit of a laugh, and it was difficult to stay serious and to stay focused. But that's it then from us, guys, and thanks. See you again. I'll see you guys again, and thank you for the support.
That's it.